everyone? Mitch coming in for the Chimera's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. Okay, so even more unexpected spoilers, or should I say leaks, are out because, well, I think it was Best Buy who maybe accidentally put out an image that they probably shouldn't have put out, and of course people on the internet found it, and once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. Let's jump into it. So this was the image, and with it we've got, well, the Final Fantasy Starter Kit, and it shows off two, of course, of the most famous Final Fantasy characters, Sephiroth and Cloud. Now, we only have partial kind of text on each, but basically the whole text. It's essentially the whole text, and I'm going to fill in the gaps for you and talk about, well, what kinds of crazy decks you can build around these cards. And I will say again, these are leaks. They are not confirmed to be real. That being said, it looks very likely that these would be real. So yeah, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but again, like, yeah, maybe just, like, start that, Moxfield deck where you're like, okay, yeah, I want a deck around Sephiroth, purchase as soon as it's real. There you go. Just, yeah, start that little Moxfield list, okay? Here we go. So, Sephiroth, planets. It just shows HE on it. We don't know what the rest of it is. I'm assuming, like, Herald or something like that. It also doesn't show the mana value. It does show that it is, like, Dimir, though, based off of, like, the design of the, the coloring of the card, essentially. So we do know it is a Dimir commander, which makes sense. That being said, a 4/4, we also don't know that necessarily. I'm assuming 4/4, okay? Human avatar. There might be another, creature type after that, but I'm assuming it's just human avatar, so let's just stick with that, okay? Vigilance, we do know that for sure. When Sephiroth enters, creatures we assume the yours there. Opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, put a counter on Sephiroth. Now, basically, there are a couple words there that are, like, kind of missing. Again, like, you have, your is missing up there. You also, like, controls after opponent, and then also the word Sephiroth, but all of those are easy blanks to fill in. The really kind of question marks on this card really are the mana value and the actual power toughness. When it comes to the mana value power toughness, I'm going to be completely honest, I based it off of Cloud, like, kind of having them as, like, opposites of each other, but, like, the same in some ways, too. Like, again, like, one's Dimir, one's Boros, but, like, both of them are 5, and both of them are 4/4s, and they go about being really heavy hitters in different ways. These are the assumptions I'm making again, okay? It could be, it's a 1/1, I guess Sephiroth is for, 3 mana, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, this is just what I'm assuming right now. Okay, so evaluating this, though, with what we know about it, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid ETB. Takes out your opponent's small creatures. Of course, there are ways to make that even deadlier. I mean, yeah, Panharmonicon, that kind of thing. Cool, all right, -4/-4, that's great. There's a couple other ways to kind of double up that trigger that you can keep in mind. Of course, obviously, blink effects can be massive as well. I mean, just having, like, a Conjurer's Closet in play equals, oh, okay, yeah, double that up as well. Again, at the end of the turn, blink, come right back, -2/-2 again, take out your opponent's, like, medium-sized to small creatures. That can be absolutely massive. Of course, blink effects are just great for this anyways because you have your opponents get more things into play, like, well, okay, all right, you took out my army the first time, but I'm ready this time. Here we go. Secure the waste for 10, and I've got a giant army of... Oh, you blinked it, and you took out my army again. Yeah, okay. So blinking can also be a good and a bad thing with this because, obviously, you're going to be building up a ton of counters on this. That being said, I would still probably utilize some blink effects with it because maybe not like Conjurer's Closet like every turn, but basically... Again, being able to reset when your opponents reset and say, oh, I'll get rid of, some of my power toughness and, not worry about that as much so I can take out your creatures again. I would definitely encourage that kind of a play, this kind of a commander. When it comes to utilizing those counters, though, yeah, I mean, you could, like, utilize some phase type effects to ensure that you're not actually losing out on this commander when you're trying to protect it as well. There's a couple of indestructibility effects you could obviously utilize as well with this. Of course, protecting it is key. It is crucial. It is kind of like a control-y Voltron commander in a way. Again, control-y in that it can wipe the board of your opponent's creatures or small creatures or bigger creatures depending on how you're set up with, like, Panharmonicon and stuff. But yeah, being able to build up quite quickly and, again, stay back on defense too with that vigilance, that is huge. Obviously, I mean, granting it, like, lifelink could be great as well, so you can gain a ton of life, and on defense, too, it can really help. But, yeah, ways to get it through, levitation, any kind of equipment that'll get through as well. Swing through your opponent, you're trying to win, obviously, when it comes to commander damage with this one. When it comes to the thing that you're kind of lacking in this color combination, though, when it comes to that is really, well, double strike. You don't really have access to a ton of double strike things. A couple of, like, fire shriekers, sure, like equipment. But when it comes to, another commander with double strike, we'll talk about here in a little bit, there might be a little edge, when it comes to the battle of this starter kit. So with this one, though, obviously there's other ways to take advantage of your opponent's creatures dying. I mean, there's a couple of equipment, really, these days. Like, there's, like, that Trident, as well as, like, the Bloodblade or whatever the thing is, or whatever. Whenever creatures die, like, it gets a counter. It doesn't even count your opponent's creatures always. It could be yours, too. So, yeah, there's other equipment that can actually build counters on this. There's other benefits you can have for your opponent's creatures dying, too, so you can definitely play into those. Overall, I mean, you might even want to have some cards that, like, give your opponent's creatures, like a Crow and Horse kind of style, essentially. Like, hey, opponent, hey! All right, you get this horse, everyone else gets some creatures, and now all of a sudden I'm just going to keep wiping out creatures again and again and again and again to get more and more counters on this. It's definitely a way you could play with it as well. Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues you can take this one, and again, I wouldn't be, and I think it's okay to be a bit, maybe some people won't want to play with, like, blink effects with this one because they don't want to lose out on those counters. I personally would want to, again, like, have the option to protect my commander while also resetting the board in a way. So yeah, if my commander is going to get targeted anyways, yeah, I can Essence Flux to blink my commander. I lose out on the counters, whoop-de-doo, and then all of a sudden, it comes back into play, and I get them again, when I take out some creatures. And of course, like, if you have, like, the Ozlith or things like that, you can build up counters in different ways. It's an expensive card, but still, yeah, there's different ways to essentially grant those counters back. I would not be too hesitant with that. Of course, you can also utilize, like, proliferate effects with this, too. Just kind of spitballing right now. Again, this is really off the top of my head right now because, this is a unexpected thing that happened with this leak. So anyway, Sephiroth, again, please keep in mind, again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, number one, because this is not confirmed to be real. Number two, when it comes to the last part of that name after the HE, yeah, it might be something else, but Herald, I think, should probably be about it, maybe. And when it comes to the mana value, I am thinking it's going to be 5, if I had to guess. I'm going to say it is 5, and I'm saying that it's also a 4/4 because, well, let's jump into our next one. Cloud, Planet's Champion, is 5 and a 4/4. And again, kind of like, I think that, just kind of with, like, Cloud and Sephiroth, they're kind of like weird mirror images of each other in a way. So I think that's kind of what they'd be playing with when it comes to what they do. And again, Sephiroth's, like, actual effect and stuff, like, I think it would make sense that it costs 5 and is a 4/4. Maybe it's like 4 and is a 3/3 or a 2/2 or something like that, because obviously it can build up the power throughout the game. I don't think it would cost, like, 3 or less, though, but I could be wrong on that. Like, I mean, -2/-2 on ETB. They might put that on a 3-mana creature, but we'll see. Okay, anyway, Cloud, Planet's Champion, a 4/4 Human Soldier Mercenary for 5 mana in Boros. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, it has double strike and indestructible. Equip abilities you activate the target Cloud costs 2 less to activate. So, yeah, that's quite nice. When it comes to, like, how you want to Voltron with your Voltron commander, this is a Voltron commander, basically. This is like, hey, you know what? What are two of the best keywords you can have on a Voltron commander? Double strike, indestructible. Yeah, hit your opponents harder, and also no destroying me. Basically. I mean, a Hexproof would have been nice too, but Wizards isn't going to throw that on this. When it comes to, I mean, it's a low bar to get, just one equipment on this, obviously. You just got to get any equipment in play, and you can probably automatically just equip it. Because, again, that reduction of cost is absolutely massive to be able to just, again, it doesn't say, like, doesn't reduce it down to less than 1, to 0, or whatever it is. So you can reduce it down to 0 if you're at 2 or less. So basically, yeah, being able to just equip any of your things for free, many of your things for free, or reduce cost. Being able to just put those on and be like, oh yeah, my commander is double strike indestructible, and also, yeah, oh, it's Blackblade Reforged, cool. Yeah, +5/+5. Yeah, you can very easily turn Cloud into a one-shot KO. And again, thanks to indestructibility, it's going to be decently hard to deal with too. So already having that, double strike, you don't have to worry about, other ways to grant double strike, like Fire Trigger, that's just redundant at this point. But being able to have a bunch of things that just give a bunch of power, like, again, Blackblade Reforged, great, you're equipping it for, 1 mana, I assume, because this costs 2 less, and I think Blackblade's 3 for the legendary creature, so, yeah, pay 1 for that, lovely. Your commander is going to hit incredibly hard, incredibly quickly once you get it out. Of course, you're going to want a lot of hasty equipment as well because you want to be able to swing right away. I mean, at the very least, your commander is a 3-shot KO starting off. So yeah, get some evasion, get some haste, swing right away. But yeah, you can very easily turn your commander into a 2-shot KO, if not a 1-shot KO. It just takes, 7 extra power to get your commander there, and it is a 1-shot KO because of that double strike. So it is definitely a commander where you're gonna want some you're gonna want some ways to what is the something of the armory or whatever, the little tutor you go get the right equipment out of your deck, get them into play, and all of a sudden, utilize this commander in a way where you're swinging through, taking an opponent out, hitting them really hard. Lifelink again could obviously pad your life total so you can be aggressive. Again, Sephiroth has that kind of vigilance so it can stay back. So having a way to give it vigilance would not be a bad thing. There are certain just equipment out there that just grant keyword soup to something. So utilize one of those keyword soup cards just for this commander and be like, okay, it's got all the things. Awesome. Even if someone redundant like First Strike, don't worry about it. If it's got everything else on it, great. So this is the type of commander where, you just grab a bunch of great equipment, you chuck into the deck, and you have fun. That's probably what you're going to be doing. You most likely aren't going to be building a go wide type strategy with this one. You might build up some defenses as well, obviously, but the main focus of this commander is literally just get it out quickly, get equipment on it, swing through, get through on opponents, hit them, take them out, rinse and repeat for the next opponent, essentially. So, this is a commander where, Voltron. That's what you're going to be doing, equipment Voltron. And you could just you don't have to keep your entire deck to equipment that costs 2 or less to actually equip. Obviously, I already mentioned Blackbladed Forge. I would include ones that cost above that too. But I would make sure that I would stay probably around that range-ish, 3-4 sure. But you want to be able to get your commander out aggressively, get things attached immediately, and then just go. Colossus Hammer is a lot of fun. I talked about that with the other cloud. If you haven't seen that episode, make sure you check that one out. But that one auto-attaches with the other cloud. This one is more so, okay, you got to pay, and still paying 6 to do that is quite a bit when you can just okay, pay 1 for a Blackbladed Forged. Awesome, it's attached. Cool. So, being able to just freely equip or equip for a lot cheaper, I would definitely focus on equipment that are very efficient when it comes to that. Even if they do cost a little more to get out, if they cost less to equip, that's probably a better thing for you overall. But again, there are some different things that can happen. Okay. Overall, again, actually, when it comes to Cloud, I think all the text is actually revealed on it. So I should have said that first. My apologies. Except for the name, which I assume is Cloud. If it is something else, Planets Champion, I'm going to be very confused. But I believe that is the only thing actually on the box that is not revealed. So let's actually check that real quick. Yeah, there you go. Blank Planets Champion. I assume that is Cloud. So there you go. Versus Sephiroth, again, slightly cut off. We are missing really mostly the actual text in the card, what the card does. You can assume some of the words. Again, your opponent controls. Those things can be assumed. What is harder to assume, again, are those mana value and the power toughness. But I think we're probably pretty close on those. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on these. Do you think that Sephiroth's power and toughness and mana cost are different than this? Do you think that I am super wrong on it? Do you think that these cards are real? I mean, the entire packaging looks incredibly real, but we have been fooled in the past before. Typically, though, when it comes to these leaks, I would say 99% of the time they are legitimate. It would take far too much effort to actually make the leak. And then actually it was on Best Buy too, so I mean that I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have someone working at Best Buy that would just fake this and ha 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 and then get fired over it, maybe. I don't know. So it was just probably a hey, we accidentally had this thing live, oh my goodness, my bad. And then the internet finds it, and then it's there, and it's on Reddit, and it's there forever, and you can't hide it, Wizard. So there you go. So yes, now let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you think it's real. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.